I say, not run. Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone again.
The fight on 21st December is only a few days away, and the boxing atmosphere seems more exhilarating than ever. With their entire legacies on the line, both fighters have geared up to give the performance of their lives. The extravagant affair that has been a major highlight since the beginning and the start of the year is set to take place in the heart of the Saudi kingdom, and with the involvement of many prominent names in the industry, everyone is looking forward to witnessing the unification fight of this era. Nonchalant attitude since the announcement of the bout seems to have donned the getup of the silent killer going into this rematch based on his last couple of appearances, where the Ukrainian fighter shocked everyone by coming out dressed as the ruthless assassin from pop culture.
Universally recognized heavyweight world champion, Oleksandr Usyk.
This time being the champion with all the belts and titles in his court, Usyk is determined to retain his position and authority in the division by maintaining a steady composure and slipping on a solid poker face which gives nothing away even to the most adept eyes. This newfound strategy, which seems to be quite similar to the one he employed before, might have started to show its results, because according to countless alleged reports from Fury's camp, this silent treatment has made them anxious, possibly about a hidden weapon or strategy that Usyk might use against them.
So Oleksandr, what can we expect in the rematch?
Just keep waiting.
Just keep waiting. He won't tell us. He's holding back.
Oh,
He's holding
what
his
can you
cards
expect
close to
from
his
me?
chest.
Please tell us about your outfit, about your briefcase, about your gloves. This is a whole new look. What can you tell us about this?
I don't know.
During the now famous face-off that the two fighters participated in recently, Usyk surprisingly expressed his feelings regarding the first fight. Yearning for a major title fight since the beginning of his extensive career, Usyk appeared elated on finally achieving his lifelong dream, along with getting another chance to showcase his immaculate skills and prowess, especially after the myriad of skepticism that he faced from Tyson's fans and loyalists over the course of last couple of months. According to Usyk, although the first fight was unprecedented and was the beginning of his legacy, this upcoming rematch will be the major stepping stone because it will decide their ultimate fates.
Now, what was that like coming out? One of the biggest fights in boxing history.
Спокойствие. Я не думав про це, я просто молився і дякував Господу Богу, що я стою на своїх ногах і що все, слава Богу.
Being one of the rare athletes who have more than 300 amateur fights under his belt against all sorts of opponents, including some of the current boxing elites, it comes as no surprise that Usyk has always been infatuated with boxing, and the exhilaration that he feels when he steps inside the ring to face a worthy adversary, just like Tyson Fury in this rematch, where he will not only be facing one of the toughest and significant opponents of his career, but he will also have a rare chance to etch his name as the greatest heavyweight fighter of this era.
Did he show you enough respect, Oleksandr, before the fight?
Listen, I'm respect.
You are?
Yes. I know Tyson too for me respect, but it's like a elemental. Just happy. 2 fights. Second fight will be Buddha, will be good. But Tyson know what I do. I know what Tyson do. It's a great time now for me, for my opponent. It's good. I'm very happy. I win. Thank God.
However, in order to fulfill this dream, Usyk has to make sure that he at least keeps up the same physique and attributes that he possessed in the first fight, because after looking at Tyson and his resolute training camp in the last couple of months, it is evident that the Gypsy King is back for vengeance and will not let this chance slide away like he did the last time. Not relying on anything, Usyk stated that at this point he is not going to be enchanted by anything because he has a clear vision and a solid plan that he had meticulously crafted in the camp, which he will make sure is properly implemented in fight night.
What is my motivation? I don't have motivation. Only my regime. Only my concentration. This is my motivation. Enough.
One important aspect that Usyk addressed during this face-off and the promotional press conference for this rematch was the allegedly biased referee and his controversial move of saving Tyson from a potential knockdown in the middle rounds. Sarcastically addressing these allegations made by many people in the industry, Usyk emphasized that at this stage he is not concerned with what happened in the last fight, because ultimately, no matter what, he was declared the winner, so it really doesn't matter.
There's a lot of people say, oh, referee, take your win in knockout. I say, what? Referee? I say, referee bad? Yes. I think no. Referee good. It's just speak. Це просто розговори. It just talks. Blah, 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 blah. It's bad. It's blah, 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 blah. For me, doesn't matter for referee. Referee is professional guy. Referee do his job. Yeah. Maybe it's like my last punch would be dangerous for Tyson Fury. It's good. Listen. Tyson have big family, I have big family. Listen, we win, everything okay. I not think about my referee with my fight. We win, thank God.
Reiterating his trademark about not leaving Tyson alone in this fight, Usyk once again stated that even though the first time Tyson was successful in avoiding being knocked down, this time he will not be too lucky, because no matter how many times he tries to move back on his wobbly legs or tries to convince himself and his fans about the fight being too easy for him, he will get caught most probably in the earlier rounds.
Oh my God, no way. Okay, no problem. Okay, next fight would be easy. Okay, for him will be easy. Okay, no problem. I see for Tyson Fury. I see for Tyson Fury. It's not will be easy. It will be hard, very, very hard. Tyson, don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone.
No, I say not run. Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone again.
Moving on, renowned for his immaculate boxing IQ and agility, when it comes to technical skills and tactful approach to a fight, there is no one else in the heavyweight division who does it like the Ukrainian Devil. This attribute, combined with the far-fetched experience in handling huge and burly fighters like Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua, provides Usyk with many advantages over Tyson, who, despite being a great fighter with his own excellent skill set, is no comparison to the methodical beating from Usyk. Slight glimpse into what goes on during his training, Usyk explains certain parts of his regime in a recent interview, stating that even though most of the skills and techniques that he possesses are based on years of hard work and experience inside the ring, his agility and great footwork come from his continuous training in the gym, which usually seems to focus on conditioning exercise and many precise defense strategies under the hawk-like surveillance of adept trainers along with his coaches. Usyk stated, "I'm still hungry. My first training session starts at 5:30 in the morning every day. When I wake up, I thank God. I cross myself, I pray, and then I go to training. My second session is at 12 and the third one is at 18 o'clock. I'm still hungry. The only difference is that now I'm 37, while when I started, I was 15. With only a few days left in the fight, the relentless training and sparring sessions have concluded, signaling an end to the tenacious and grueling camp both fighters took part in right after their first fight." Sharing this momentous landmark, Usyk's trainer, Serhiy Lapin, shared a picture on Instagram showing the last group photo before the team ventured to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the last-minute preparations for their fight, leaving to defend not only his title but also the image that he has carefully crafted for himself. Usyk was greeted with a heartfelt crowd upon his departure, which seems to have fueled the fighter with a newfound motivation like never before. Just like his fighter, Serhiy seems to be quite reluctant to give away vital information regarding their internal plans and schemes for this rematch. According to Serhiy, although they have been quite open about the planning and dealing of the fight, they don't want to reveal too much before the fight, because it not only provides an advantage to the opposing team to make certain adjustments, but also because due to the harsh media critic, the fighters can sometimes lose their focus and confidence in the plan that they worked so hard to adopt in the first place.
We analyze almost every action and do the hard work. Thanks RTF team for opportunity to utilize modern technology is our work. We'll be hearing from sound. Usyk, Usyk, Usyk. We see you 21st December in tactic, technique, and new physical style.
With all these statements being issued by the fighters and their teams, the anticipation for this fight seems to be spiking, and many experts and professionals, including some fellow heavyweight fighters, have also started to share their views on this historic rematch. Anthony Joshua, who has shared a rather tense history with the Ukrainian fighter, seems to be on his team in this rematch, stating that even though Tyson Fury is a formidable opponent, he is not on the same level as Usyk, who always appears to find an edge over his adversaries. Anthony stated, "I think it's going to be a tough fight early on, and then I feel like Usyk will edge it again." What Anthony might have tried to allude to here is the fact that in the first fight, many people predicted Tyson to breeze through the bout due to his size and reach advantage, but as soon as the fight began, it became clear that he was being outmaneuvered and outpowered by the much smaller fighter. Deeply analyzing the critical rounds of that first fight, especially the last ones, by using his immaculate intellect, Usyk was able to turn Tyson's biggest weapons against him by reducing them to nothing but a nuisance in the way. Being the first-hand witness of all this not once but twice, Anthony labeled Usyk as one of the generational greats who is always going to be 2 steps ahead no matter who he enters the ring against. He added, "He's a class operator. I think Usyk's one of the best out there. That's why I think he'll win." However, not every past opponent seems to be quite as forgiving as Anthony. Daniel Dubois, who lost to the Ukrainian Devil way back in 2023 and had a major setback in his career, is out for revenge in case of Usyk's victory, emphasizing that after this historic fight is done, Usyk will not have peace that he think that he would, because every fighter will be coming after him to see who can tame the vicious beast. Hoping to become the conqueror, Daniel stated that at this stage in his career, he is going to be looking after the top fighters in the division, no matter who they are or what past they share. Daniel stated, "I'm coming for their belts, definitely. The top guys, I want them. I want them all. I am just going to rip right through them." Sharing his prediction on who might win this time, Daniel seemed conflicted based on the sheer talent of both the boxers. Tyson, who is well known for his excellent right hooks and great reach, is a very difficult opponent to take down, especially in the earlier rounds, because if the Gypsy King decides to shift away from his goofing around, he can transform into a ruthless machine who can drop anyone down in his path. Meanwhile, Usyk is more of a technical guy who focuses more on analyzing his opponent, trying to discern their strengths and weaknesses in hopes of exploiting them, and as soon as he has crafted a map inside his mind, he begins his onslaught of pre-planned punches, which are almost impossible to deflect. With these factors in mind, Daniel seems to be of Team Tyson based on the kinship between them and the obvious hostility that Daniel still has for Usyk. Sharing his thoughts, Daniel commented, "I'm still backing Fury. I hope our man does it. Usyk is capable. Fury should jump on him and smother him. Fury is a slick boxer too, but it will be a great fight and I'll be out there calling on to fight the winner." Talking about the success of the first event, there is no doubt that this fight will also be quite an attraction among diehard boxing fans because it will not only offer the epic conclusion to the ongoing rivalry between two of the greatest heavyweight fighters of this era, but it will also crown one of them as the sole ruler of the division for the days to come. Being on the same page, former professional fighter and world champion Sean Porter gave his views on the first fight, stating that for many the result was very controversial as they have hoped for their favored fighter to win. But when it comes to bouts of this caliber, the decision of crowing of the winner is extremely hard, especially if they refuse to give up, just like Tyson and Usyk refused to bow down till the end despite sustaining many injuries along the way. Thinking that this upcoming fight will be even more magnificent than the previous one, Sean thinks that this fight will one day be looked back on as the greatest unification event of this era of boxing.
Two things: the greatness of Oleksandr Usyk and the wars and the mileage on Tyson Fury. That mileage is something that we can't measure. Man, great first fight. I'm looking forward to the second one. I think, you know, the first one was self-explanatory. Early was controlled by Fury, late controlled by Usyk. Amazing fight, and can't wait for the second one.
Sean, who has been a part of many great championships in the history of boxing and has kept a keen eye on the new emerging talent, also thinks that Usyk is unlike all the current heavyweight fighters due to his unprecedented skills, which have not been present in a fighter for a very long time. Further emphasized his point, stating that the calm and poise displayed by Usyk both inside and outside the ring makes him worthy of being a world champion.
Oh, no argument. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, Tyson Fury's been the best heavyweight in boxing for a long time, and I really didn't think that Usyk was until he did what he did against Fury. I know he had a couple of wins against Joshua and a few others, but beating Tyson Fury, to me, solidified Usyk as the best heavyweight. He's got to do it again.
Although Sean expressed his support for the British fighter in this rematch, he still pointed out the fact that this time around Usyk would be more difficult to take down because after the first encounter that they had way back in May, the Ukrainian fighter had been making certain adjustments and tweaks in his already perfect game plan, which makes him almost unbeatable. However, according to Sean, if Tyson shifts back to his old warrior mentality and does not joke around like he did the last time, then he will have a clear shot at making things work this time for him, based on the fact that despite being a little sluggish and rusted as compared to his youth, Tyson is still a very talented fighter and boxer who also has a great deal of experience by fighting against some of the generational greats.
I think the first fight we knew was 50-50. It really was a 50-50 fight. Same thing with the second one, but I'm willing to bet that Tyson Fury wins this one. I think it's Tyson Fury's fight to lose. And what I mean by that, what we could see in the first fight, he was bigger, he was stronger, he was sharper from the outside, a lot of things than Usyk. I think he had a moment where he got complacent and he paid for it by losing the fight. You know, he lost the whole second half of the fight, including the knockdown, of course.
Known for his direct and curt analysis of fights and boxers, Chisora directly blasted Tyson and his team for being too overconfident and making ludicrous statements ahead of his fight, seemingly undermining his opponents, thinking that they would never pose any serious threat. However, the reality is that they tend to be overcompensating for their shortcomings. Elaborating on his rather harsh statement, Derek recalled the drama that transpired between Tyson and Anthony Joshua a few years back, when AJ was brutally beaten down by the Ukrainian fighter, and Tyson made fun of the fellow British fighter, calling him weak and feeble. But after suffering from the same fate, Tyson refuses to take any accountability.
To a smaller man, I have to send the
Middleweight.
No, you're gonna have to go send the rabbit. No, I have to send the Lancaster bomber. And he was like, yeah. And then suddenly, fast forward later, deja vu. He fucking lost the belts.
Not being a fan of the training strategies and regimes followed by Tyson and his coach Sugar Hill, Derek stated that throughout the entirety of the camp, not once did Tyson face any opponent that might have prepared him for the upcoming challenge against a southpaw like Usyk. Thinking that Tyson is still the lazy and cocky fighter that the world saw in the last couple of fights, especially the fight between him and Francis Ngannou and Oleksandr Usyk, Derek thinks that at this stage, Tyson needs to be pushed to his limit by someone who will present him a challenge inside the ring, but the fighters that they have available are all not up to par and seem to be restraining themselves, which ultimately causes Tyson to not test his limits, making him look like an amateur fighter who lacks certain confidence in his skills.
Do I believe Tyson can beat you, Alexander? I look at everybody he's got in his sparring camp. I personally don't believe that you can actually. The sparring partners he's got right now, they're pushing him to be menace. You know, they are in awe of Tyson. You know, they will pull their punches when they're sparring. You know, they will. This is what I'm seeing from the things I see on Instagram. So the fight. So he didn't spar the way he wanted to spar.
You think underprepared, like for a fight of that magnitude?
Underprepared, yeah. You understand? Underprepared for that fight. You understand? And the confidence was not there because if you realize he was mucking around for the first 4 or 5 rounds.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, Derek seems to be all praise about Usyk's training camps, stating that when the mindset and strategies of both the camps are compared with one another, the difference between them is astronomical and gives great insight about the true motives behind accepting this rematch. Adding on, Derek stated for Tyson, this fight is all about making himself look better and getting back all that was stolen while making huge amounts of money. However, for Usyk, the motive is much more honorable and great because the Ukrainian fighter seems to be on a mission to create a lifelong legacy, which will not only give him the peace he has been yearning for, but it will also inspire younger generations, especially from Ukrainian backgrounds, to fulfill their dreams.
I mean, what I see what Alexander's doing is totally different to what, because I think Alexander's way is more like start fast and finish fast. He knows he can hurt him now, so he's gonna come and try and hurt him. You will not, as he keeps saying, you won't leave him alone. I would love Tyson to win, but right now, those odds are...
So in the end, what do you guys think about this fight? What are your thoughts on Usyk's new getup and style? Do you think he is gonna win this rematch as well, or that he might vanquish this time? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.